Super Tuesday presented by Boost Mobile. And it starts in Lexington, Kentucky, as Kentucky and LSU meet in a big game in the SEC. And next, just down the road in Louisville, it's Zion Williamson and Duke playing the Cardinals. What a night in college basketball. Unbelievable. What a night. A phenomenal night. You got two great games. Kentucky right now plays LSU. LSU has not lost on the road in the SEC. And then you got Duke against the Cardinals in Louisville. What an unbelievable night. College hoops. I love it, baby. I love it.
I know you do. Welcome, everyone. Alongside Dick Vitale, I'm Carl Ravitch. Laura Rutledge joins us in just a second. The Blue Bloods are out in the Bluegrass State. Make no mistake about it. Look forward to that 9 o'clock game. But check the standings in the SEC, and this game is huge. We will celebrate college basketball and Dick Vitale tonight. 10-0 Tennessee, followed immediately by the 9-1s, Kentucky and LSU. Remember, the top 4 in the SEC tournament get a double bye. And if it sticks to chalk, 1 will get 4, 2 will play 3. This is a huge, huge game, Dickie V.
Yeah, it really is a big-time game. The one thing to keep in mind, LSU is unbeaten on the road in the SEC. But they've had a lot of mental lapses and had to come from behind. They were 14 down with 2.5 against Missouri. They were down 16 against Auburn. I think you get the message. Double figures against Mississippi State, and they won all those games.
Higgins picks up the early foul. This is going to be a matchup to watch. Tremont Waters and Ashton Higgins, the 2 point guards.
Well, it would be, I think, a matchup that's going to dictate the tempo of the game. But John Calipari told Laura and I before the game in his office, he said, I'm really concerned about, Ashton getting in foul trouble. So what does he do? He gets one silly foul 35 feet away from the goal. That's freshman. You can't do that. They need him on the floor.
Waters can dribble through a maze, and he has the ball now. Great in late clock situations. And the bounce pass, Bigby Williams denied at the rim, but we're going to get a foul.
Nice little two-man game here. Waters showing his passing ability. Came from out of New Haven, Connecticut, committed originally to the Hoyas at Georgetown. Coaching change, Don Thompson Jr. loses the job. He says, well, I'm going elsewhere, and here comes LSU.
They are big. One thing they do, get to the free throw line a lot, and they make free throws. Cavell Bigby Williams, around 63%. First one drops, but as a team, they shoot almost 77%. And you take a look at their starting lineup. Waters, Mays, and Taylor, all guards. Bigby Williams and Reed are huge up front, and they bring some size off the bench.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They're going to have their A game because Kentucky's playing great basketball. They've won 10 in a row, and P.J. Washington has been off the charts. He's been a top 15 kind of player. He's been unbelievable the last 7 games. This kid's got a lot of ability right here. Waters split the defense.
Reed had it, and he turned it over. His teammate Marlon Taylor moved when the pass was on his way. You mentioned Kentucky. They have been playing phenomenally. Higgins and Hero in the backcourt. Keldon Johnson as well, a good shooter. Travis, and you mentioned P.J. Washington. E.J. Montgomery's been very good off the bench, and there's the first 2 for Kentucky from Keldon Johnson.
Keldon Johnson, he had that bad game against Georgia, didn't score a point. Since then, he's played really well. 13 points a game, shooting over 40% from the 3.
Waters, good shooter, launches a 3 and buries it.
He's big for them. He's obviously their catalyst. He's got to play super basketball for them to have a chance to win here tonight. One of 10 still on the Bob Cousy list for best point guard in the country. Waters, Higgins is not on that list. The alley-oop. P.J. Washington, and a foul on Skylar Mays, who may have tweaked his ankle. Talking about an offensive efficient possession. Did a great job. Two-man basketball, Hero with the lob up on top. P.J. Washington with the conversion. He's averaging over 20 points a game in his last 7, shooting 55% from the 3. I mean, he's done it all. I remember doing a game here with you, and I said during that game, it's hard for me to believe that this kid, with his ability, can average like 11, 12 a game. He's too good.
Stock is rising, baby.
And I'll tell you, stock going up and up and up.
No doubt. Quick substitution, Emmanuel quickly into the game. He's the guard for Kentucky now, spotting Waters. Higgins gets a rest. Waters the kick, Taylor 3. And that one friendly roll here in the unfriendly confines.
Well, he gets the touch right there, but was the play by Waters to get him the opportunity. See, they don't want Higgins to get that second foul.
Both these teams long when it comes to defense. Quickly buries the three. Waters took a risk.
That'll get you some playing time. You want to stay on the court, defend Waters, make some shots. Look, he's right in Waters' face. He doesn't want him to get the ball. Now he's got the ball, plays him head-to-head. He's trying to invite him, drive him to the sideline. He's opening up. Wants to go to the sideline. He says, no, I'm going to use that screen.
Tough shot, in and out. Keldon Johnson peels down the rebound.
Both these clubs can really rebound, Carl. Offensive glass, very important to both of them. Just ask Auburn when they lost.
BJ, no good, and then Cavell Bigley-Williams clears.
They had 22 offensive rebounds against Auburn. Auburn made 16 threes. They looked like they were racing home with a W. They were up 16, but they got beat big time on the interior. In fact, Bruce Burrell said, I read his quote, they dominated us on the glass.
Jump stop, Skylar Mays, no good. You saw the attempt at an offensive rebound, but it's to Kentucky. Hero will launch. That short, he's 0 for 2 early in this game. Now, you mentioned it, Dickie V, something to look forward to. Both of these teams, given their size, their athleticism, the offensive rebounding. LSU 37%, Kentucky at 38, and the second chance points per game. LSU gets almost 15 a game on the offensive glass.
Yeah, they really can score too, and they score because they do such a great job on the glass. Travis has got to step it up. In the SEC, he has not been as effective as he has been during the pre-conference, and he's too good a player. They need him to step up and help Washington on the inside. It's a well-coached team when you look at this club, LSU. Will Wade knows how to coach.
Good defense, but Taylor recovered and lays it in.
Nice play by Taylor right there to get the good second effort.
He's got 5 of the team's 9 early. Javonte Smart into the game, one of the 3 dudes on this LSU team that Calipari and Kentucky tried to recruit here to play for the Wildcats. It was Javonte Smart, Tremont Waters, and Naz Reid.
Yeah, he told me before the game, told Lauren, I went 0 for 3. I went 0 for 3. Sounds like a baseball player. He doesn't lose too many, though.
Waters kept it alive, and he threw it off the back of the backboard. 7 lead changes already. What we expected, 15-43, and it's Kentucky by 1.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Speaking with PJ Washington, who's been on quite the run in the last few games. He said the main difference between this year's Kentucky team and last year's team, this year's team, of course, has won 10 straight. They're looking for another one tonight. Last year's team went on that dreaded 4-game losing streak where they felt like the world was caving in. The difference now, PJ says, is they trust each other. They know that if they're down, they're going to be able to get it back as a team. He said last year there were times when they were very selfish because they felt like they couldn't rely on each other. It was more of an individual game. And guys, when you see a team that actually is playing like a team, it seems simple, but it makes all the difference. That's what these Kentucky guys think is working well for them now.
Well, let me tell you this, Laura. They were in trouble against your alma mater, Florida, down 11, but they're so tough they came back and won that game.
Out of the break, PJ, offensive rebound, and he puts it back up and in. Calipari has said about PJ, best player in the country. Believes he's the best player.
I'll tell you, the way he's playing right now, he's going to be a legitimate candidate for player of the year in the conference, even though it looks like a lock, according to many people, to Grant Williams.
Yeah.
But if he beats Tennessee 2 times and plays well, he's right there in the argument.
Naz Reid can do that, and in conference, Naz Reid is shooting phenomenally well from three-point land. He buries another one, and he's shooting about 45%.
New Jersey, Roselle, New Jersey. You're talking about a kid, 6'11", very mobile, not as strong physically as DeMarcus Cousins, but he has a lot of his kind of talent. Goes inside, outside. He's got to give him a little more consistency, but he's got star talent.
Hero, tough shot, good defense. Reid, offensive glass. They're going to get Reid on Reid. Naz Reid picks up his first.
Well, Wade can't believe it. He's very animated. He's over Tony Green. I can't believe it. He said, come on now. Watch this right here.
I'll tell you, both of these teams worked so hard during their shoot-arounds on rebounding. Boxing out and crashing the glass.
Well, that's why, they're good rebounding teams. It starts with having ability, size, things that you can't teach. And then you can teach the little things, the blocking out, going to the glass, being aggressive.
Will Wade in the second year as E.J. Montgomery checks in. I think, Dick, this is another kid you look at in about a month, will be a totally different player and will be a huge asset to Kentucky.
Well, he's been big the last few games. He's been really playing well off that bench. Came here with a big-time reputation out of high school. Some kids takes a little longer because they're the number one option, and all of a sudden they got to blend in with 4 other stars. Takes them a little while to get acclimated.
All the great freshmen. E.J. Montgomery was the top-rated recruit in the class of 18. Reed again. That's short. Nobody there to get the rebound except 3 white jerseys.
He's got to use a lot of his ability on the inside, too. I know he can make the 3, but he's got to be active on the inside with that size.
Higgins is set to come back in. He looks at Quickly, who's been handling the point guard duties since that early first foul.
Little screen and roll.
Keldon Johnson got hit, and he couldn't kiss it softly enough off the window. All right, Saturday, 3 of the top 5 teams in the country will be on ESPN. There's Duke, Zion, RJ. They host NC State, 6 Eastern. And then how about Tennessee? On a current school record 17-game win streak, they'll be right here to take on Kentucky. That's a Sonic blockbuster. Both games stream live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. So this is pretty interesting, given that Tennessee has what seems like forever been the number 1 team in the country. But when you look at the best chance to earn a number 1 seed according to ESPN.com's BPI, look at Tennessee down there at 53%, Virginia and Duke above them, and Kentucky is ahead of Gonzaga with the best chance to earn a 1 seed.
Well, a lot of that's depending on who you're playing and what they're estimating is going to happen in those games. I think you see Tennessee there because those people are assuming mentally that they think Tennessee's getting beat here. And I'll tell you one thing. Kentucky better have their A game because they're going to meet a very mentally tough Tennessee team here on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I'll be down at Duke's Saturday for the Duke Blue Devils against North Carolina State.
Oh, alley-oop, and that guy can fly through the ceiling. Marlon Taylor finishes. He's got 7.
He is some kind of athlete from out of Mount Vernon, where they produced a lot of great players. I mean, Mount Vernon's known for him. Earl Tatum went to play at Marquette, the Williams brothers, Ray and Gus. Years ago, do you remember those guys?
I do, sure I do.
They were terrific.
As Andy Kennedy said, Zion Williamson and Marlon Taylor, that's his slam dunk contest.
I know who's winning that.
I know. And I get you're going to say Zion.
Oh, come on now, serious? Ain't nobody in the NBA can beat him in a dunk contest.
There's a good block by Bigby Williams at the rim.
He's a shot blocker. Williams gives him that shot blocking ability.
Darius stays 22 into the game. Good offensive rebounder. That's what Waters can do. He just couldn't finish it. And here comes Hero. Little jump stop. No good. Rebound. E.J. Montgomery.
There they are in the offensive glass. Montgomery's PT is going to go up and up. His playing time. You got to keep them off the glass. That's a strong suit of LSU as well.
3 offensive rebounds for Kentucky. Smart will get fouled by Hero. He'll finish the play, but the call was on the floor. Take a look at Taylor go up and get this one on a good pass from Waters.
Nice look. Look at him. He's a high flyer. There's no doubt about it. They make some great players out of Mount Vernon. And there's with the Montgomery right on the glass with an easy one.
E.J. Montgomery, 7 rebounds, 16 minutes against Mississippi State. Double-double against South Carolina. Skylar Mays has it in the paint, but has nowhere to go with it.
Mays had a real good game against Auburn.
Tough shot by Javante Smart with 2 guys in his face.
He was a big-time recruit. Came out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Stayed right there in his home city. You know, I miss being here. Dale Brown. Where's Dale Brown? He brings so much excitement when he did the LSU program. They should name the court after him. I cannot believe the Pete Maravich Center is not the basketball floor named after Dale Brown. That's really an absurdity. Don't get me started on that.
You got yourself started on that. Jamal Baker, no good. We're going to get a push from behind into the game and getting his first foul. Emmett Williams. Take a timeout here, under 12. Kentucky on the offensive glass doing some damage, lead by 2.
My left is Dick Vitale.
This is Flash. I can't believe it. Hey, come with me. We're going to Charlotte, baby. Come on, Mickey. All right. Somebody call up the fire chief. Put out the fire. Are you serious? This place is rocking. Forget about age. Age is immaterial. It's what you have in your heart, baby.
I mentioned we're celebrating basketball. We're celebrating this guy, Dick Vitale, who today yesterday found out he was going to be given an Emmy Award for a lifetime achievement in sports broadcasting. And I will be up front. I've made a living for 25 years sitting next to analysts, and none of them matches your passion, compassion, or authenticity. So congratulations on an award I know that struck you really well.
It really did. I tell you, I was so touched when Josh Coolidge called me up. I can't believe my name is up there with Giants Life Idolized. When you think about Coach Sell, you think about John Madden, and all the greats that are Vince Scully. Are you kidding me? I'm a sports fanatic, and I look at those names. Kurt Gowdy, baseball, loved them. My name with those people.
Your partner, Brent Musburger's there.
That's a mismatch, Ben. I never heard my name's on there with those people, but you know what? I'll take it.
It is well-deserved, well-earned. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Carl. Thank you to ESPN and all the play-by-play guys and producers, directors, people behind the scenes that I've worked with in 40 years. It all belongs to you, that award, because really, you've been so great to me.
You talked about your commitment and enthusiasm. That's offensive goaltending to the sport. I think that's really what they're getting at by giving you that award. Nobody has championed college basketball or the sport that they analyze more than you have.
Well, thank you so much. Hey, right there, that was a good call, by the way. He would have got away with that. International basketball, not going to get away with it here. The one thing they got to avoid, LSU, is those lapses where they get those deficits, big-time deficits. This kid is going to be special.
Follows his own shot. Nick Richards gets fouled. They're hammering him on the offensive glass.
Some early messages from Coach Cal to his Kentucky team in the huddle, telling P.J. Washington as well as Tyler Hero, let's drive the ball early instead of taking some of those three-point shots. We could save that for later, but early on, let's try to drive the ball. Also telling Emmanuel quickly to shoot. He said he was wide open, had an opportunity to shoot. That's one thing that we saw Coach Cal talking about even in shoot-around today, trying to get these guys with their confidence in a place where they are going to take those shots and try to make them as early and often as possible.
You know, Laura and Carl, this team to me really found its niche after the big win over Auburn. When they beat Auburn psychologically, because they could have lost that basketball game. When they won that game, came back, and then they beat in that week, 7 days, 3 nationally rated teams. Beat Mississippi State, they beat Kansas, and they also beat Auburn. And I think from that moment on, they really believe that we're legit. We are definitely a top 5. I got them number 4 in the country in my poll this week.
Yeah, it was interesting after the Virginia loss that Virginia didn't fall to a number 5. I get that it was at home and it was against Duke, but I thought they would have fallen, and I thought we were going to have a number 4 team in the country here in Kentucky. I agree with you.
They were number 4 to me, I'll tell you that, but Virginia came back, could have certainly tipped their hat to the kids down there from Charlottesville that came back and beat North Carolina. They were in trouble in the game, too. North Carolina suffered a tough loss, losing to Kid Little in that game, but that was really a strong win for them after the loss to Duke.
Higgins goes to the bench, Dick. 10:59 to go. He picks up his second foul, so likely gone for the first half now.
And if Laura remembers, we were in the office, and that was a big concern of John Calipari. So I'm really worried about Higgins getting in foul trouble. I mean, that guy knows basketball. There's no doubt about it. Anybody that thinks he's just a recruiter, they don't know what they're talking about. He's a teacher, a motivator, he's a recruiter. He's the whole package, and he's perfect. He fits here like an unbelievable fit here at Kentucky.
2 more wins will tie Joe B. Hall second all-time, and it was Joe B. Hall who said about Cal he was born to coach Kentucky.
Yeah, he really fit the picture here. Not many guys can handle this job, the pressures that come with it, and he's able to handle it. He handles tough times really well. A lot of guys can handle being up on top. Can't handle tough times. That was my downfall. I couldn't handle losing. Losing tore my heart apart.
get into a field in which you never lose a game, and now you're a Lifetime Achievement Award winner.
Tell you one thing.
Smart.
40 years, I got a better record than Coach K. They keep talking about his record. I haven't lost a game. I've coached Duke, Carolina, Kentucky. I haven't lost a game in 40 years.
40 years you've been doing this. You know where Coach Calipari was 40 years ago?
I have no idea.
Playing college basketball.
He was playing college basketball?
Yeah, where Will Wade was 40 years ago? 3 years from being born.
Wow. Wow. And I was sitting there courtside.
LSU down 3. One thing LSU's done, Dick, and you know this, the last 5 games, they've fallen behind double digits in 4 of them.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier, Carl. There's no doubt about that. That's been a problem for them.
Nas Reed, an air ball. He went with his left hand.
Got to turn and go to the basket. He faded away. He's too big for that.
Good hands, though. He creates the steal. Both these teams offensive rebound. They both steal the basketball. Javante Smart, long one. There's Reed on the offensive glass. Mays will take a 3. That's off.
These guys really getting on the glass, man. They're really getting after the ball. Uh-oh.
Hero, good finish.
Great transition basket. Fill the lane. 45-degree angle. Drop it off. Lay it on the glass. Excellent transition basketball right there by Kentucky.
5-point lead. Skylar Mays coming off of a good game as Nas Reed drives. Looked like he got hit, but no foul. Emmett Williams kicks it back to a Kentucky player.
Here come the Cats.
Carl, you guys were talking about this LSU team at times being down double digits. And Nas Reed said, look, it's not something that we're proud of. We'd like to just go ahead and beat all of our opponents and lead them the entire time. But it does give us a ton of confidence and trust in each other and knowing that we can battle back. We're feisty. He said he doesn't think as many people know that about this team. They're so feisty when they get down. He loves that about him. He also says one of the main keys is the breathing techniques that Coach Wade teaches them. He said it's something about holding your breath for 6 minutes, letting it out, or 6 seconds. Excuse me, 6 minutes would be a long time. Anyway, 6 seconds and letting it out. But he said, I don't even know all the directions. I just take a deep breath and it helps me.
Yeah, 6 minutes would be something. They have a sports psychologist on this team, Dick, that they consult with, Dr. Joel Fish from Philadelphia. He's here with them now. He used to be with the Major League Baseball clubs. He does a lot of that. That's a huge part of sports. Is Johnson hard to the hole and a foul. But the mental game of this,
absolutely.
And you know it.
In all sports. But you know what? Right now, when you look at Kentucky, they're following their coach's orders. He said, I want you to drive the basketball. And they're driving that basketball, and they're going to their free throw line. And the free throw line has been, like, unbelievable to them all year.
Days and Williams both to the bench, Dickie V, with 2 fouls for LSU.
You know, Kentucky, think about this. They're 406 for 543 coming into this game on the free throw line. Their opponents have only shot 353 fouls. So they've made 53 more than their opponents have shot. That's a major, major plus.
Yep.
When you can do that, and they're doing it right here now, they're going to the goal, man, big time. They average 11.9 turnovers in that 10-game win streak as well.
Their defense has absolutely been turned up a notch in conference play, Kentucky's. This is an LSU team that scores a lot, about 83 a game. That's going to be a hard number to come close to tonight.
Tough shots right there. That's really a tough shot. Kentucky, oh, full of the lanes.
Oh, they call a block. Reed and Will Wade thought that was a charge.
Yeah, Weed, he's right over here. He doesn't like what he had seen right there. Talking to the ref Evans, he's told him to sit out.
What'd you think? Sliding a little?
Yeah, he's moving a little bit. It's one of those spots. He's moving. I think it was a block. You got to keep Kentucky off the free throw line. You can't have this kind of situation. You know, falling behind and coming from behind is one thing. But over here, there's something else they're facing. When you play Kentucky, you're not only facing the 5 guys on the floor, you're facing Big Blue Nation. These fans really get after their team, cheering for their team, and the players feel it. They feel almost obligated to play well because of the great tradition and the history of Kentucky basketball.
See Will Wade, they got a bench warning. The first time Will Wade was here, he was a manager. Clemson came here for Tubby Smith's camp, and one of the aspects of the camp was a tour of Rupp Arena. That was the first time he had seen it.
I tell you what, he went to Clemson. He was there on the staff for quite a while. Did a great job at VCU.
First time he's coached in this building. You've been here a lot. What does this building do to a coach or a team?
Well, my last game I ever coached as a collegiate was in this building. We played Michigan, was #1 in the country, Sweet 16. We came in here with an outstanding team, some great kids, John Long, Terry Tyler, Terry Durod, and you walk in, you can't believe it's like a museum, man. It's like a museum. We lost a heartbreaker. Little did I know, that day opened my career for television because the game was televised and the announcers, you ready for this, crowd? Play-by-play, Kurt Gowdy.
Was he really?
And the analyst, the Wizard of Westwood, John Wood. When I practiced the day before, I was in awe. I mean, you talk about a groupie. I'm in my 30s, man. I can't believe I'm a baseball fanatic. I see Kurt Gowdy, and the guy that was with him, Scotty Connell.
Sure.
And he wrote my name down after those games. And when I got fired by the Pistons, he called me up. And that was it.
LSU with some press. Tyler Hero got trapped, but he able to find Keldon Johnson, so they clear the half court.
You know what's really strong with the Kentucky team? They got a multiple number of guys that can handle the basketball. The wing players.
Travis buries a three from the top of the key. The grad transfer from Stanford.
Big guys can step out and shoot the ball. They got to be careful now, LSU. You don't want to keep going down. It's down 7 already.
Largest lead of the game for the Cats.
They got to get the ball in the hands of Waters. They got to get Waters. They got to get Waters, man.
Crowd into it. Javonte Smart draws the foul, doesn't get it to go, but he drew E.J. Montgomery. So he's going to go to the free throw line. We're going to take a timeout. Just one of a long list of people that got to sit next to you as you look back on memory lane. Give me some of the favorites you got to work with.
Oh, my, Keith Jackson, Will Nelly. I talked football with him all the time when I worked with Jim Simpson. As good as it gets, really helped me. Oh, Jimmy V, my man, Jimmy V. Wow. Oh, Mr. Musburger. Last game I ever worked with him was a great time. He's special. Brent is special, man. I love those guys. Treated me like royalty, all of them. Love you.
You're the special one. Very much. Some great point guards there. Great point guards in this game as well. 29-22, Dick Vitale, Laura Rutledge, I'm Carl Ravitch. And a huge game. Both teams 9-1 in conference, trailing Tennessee at 10-0. One thing that Kentucky has done that we talked about, their defense has ratcheted up here in the last 10 games. The field goal percentage, Dick, 38%. So take LSU. They shoot 47% from the field for the year tonight. 39%, right on that 38-39 number.
Also, they've only given up 60 points a game in the SEC. I mean, that's really something else. And you think about LSU, 10 out of the last 11 games are great block shot. The last 10 of 11 games they've played LSU scored over 80. They're not in the mark to get 80 tonight unless they really get on fire.
2-on-1, E.J. Montgomery had the shot blocked. Calipari goes right to his bench and sits E.J. Montgomery down. I'll tell you, standing right behind him, it looked for a second like he was going to pass it. Then he made up his mind to go, and Bigby Williams blocked it.
Well, Williams is a really outstanding shot blocker, one of the best in the conference. That's one of his strong suits.
Yeah, see if LSU pulls that press off because they broke it for the second time, and that time pretty easily.
Guys, interesting to see LSU block a shot because one of the things that Will Wade was telling his team in the huddle just now was you've got to keep your hands active. He said we were able to do that early on, not as much later. He wanted to see more blocks, more deflections. Also telling him, got to get back in transition, got to be faster there. We're just falling around instead of getting back in transition. Got to keep the energy up. And telling them as well, got to get their bodies on screens, put the weight into the Kentucky players, really make them feel their presence.
Tell you one thing, Carl, is they've done a great job Kentucky containing the kid Waters.
No doubt. I was just about to say that. Manuel quickly has been really good with Hagens on the bench with 2 fouls, but Darius Days just buried a 3, and the lead is just 2.
You know, Days is a strong performer coming off the bench. Averages like 5 points a game. They get usually performance out of him, Smart, and also out of Emmett Williams.
Keldon Johnson held his pivot foot, no travel.
There's a lot of talent on the floor. Both these clubs really multi-talented.
There's the hands of LSU. This time it's Mays who steals it. Chance to tie it or grab the lead.
They got Johnson right now matched up with Waters.
Water stands by the half-court side, so they go 4-on-4. And really falling to the basket and perhaps hurt is Smart. He's grabbing his back. Hero may have got away with a walk. This thing's got a little sloppy there for a few seconds.
You know, I would love it if I'm John Calipari that Waters going to back out and let 4 other guys play.
Yeah.
They get him out of the game. Are you serious? I want him with the ball in his hands, man. If he played for me, I want him to have the rock. He went down hard there, there's no question.
He did not get his hands down, so he fell right on his back, and Javonte Smart goes to the bench. I agree with you. I'm sure Cal would trade 4-on-4 with keeping Waters out of the game.
He's their catalyst. He's the guy, the machine. He's the guy that makes them go.
Quickly went for the alley-oop, and it was deflected by Days. Never got there.
Very active, very athletic, as you said, Carl. Said it so well. A very athletic team when you look at the LSU team.
But as Laura just said, one thing that Coach Will Wade talked about on a jump ball, I want your hands to be more active. What have we seen the last 3 trips? Active hands for LSU. That's why both these teams win, Dick. They play defense.
See that? Good help right there. He spun right in the lane, rotated over. They got the jump ball, and the ball went to the right team. The ball went to the right team. The defensive team got the ball. I hate that rule, the alternate possession. Oh, nice 2-man game.
Tough shot, P.J. Washington, and he can't get it to go. And here comes Mays again.
As you said, he had that big game, their last game.
20 in his last game, and a lot of folks with the program said, look, that guy just had a physics test and an anatomy exam on Thursday and Friday. Freed up his mind on Saturday. Now he's knocking down a 3.
Tell you one thing, he wants to be a doctor.
He does.
He wants to be a doctor.
Dad's a long-time doctor in Baton Rouge. Mom's a physician's assistant with the dad.
Wow.
That's exactly right. Wants to be a doctor. They got a lead now, 30-29.
Good foundation. Went down 7, but they showed a lot of heart here. Came back. He's big time, Johnson. Johnson's big time. He and Hero, 2 diaper dandies can flat out play. When does Kentucky have diaper dandies that can't play? They loaded with them over the years.
But Anthony Edwards going to Georgia, didn't come to Kentucky.
Great move there for Tom Crean.
Waters had that go halfway down, but yeah, Tom Crean and Georgia in the SEC got a big recruit. And Anthony Edwards, a point guard. Hero, soft kiss off the window.
It's 1 minute Johnson, then it's Hero. And the Big Blue Nation loves him. They love him. Look, the Big Blue Nation standing up. I tell you, it's a 6-man, man. You come here, it's more than just playing these 5 players. These fans are part of the equation.
Blocked by Hero.
Uh-oh. They better lace him up right now, LSU. Better lace him up.
Travis for 3, no good. Washington a big rebound and a foul. That'll be number 3 on Darius Days. And listen to the place.
That was a big-time rebound. It wasn't a ball that just came to him. He went and wanted it. He wanted that. He said, I'm going to go get this baby. Watch this foul. Watch P.J. Washington. He said, get out. I'm going to rip it away. I'm going to rip it away. Oh, he's hooked around the arm. And really, you guys do a great job. But you're right about Waters, certainly, Jay. There's no question about it. They contain him. He's got to score. He's got to get the ball in his hands more. He seems to be a little passive here early in the game, staying away from the ball. But he's got to take it and do what he does best. Looks a little bit like he's thinking too much. You can see he's so talented.
So P.J. Washington to the free throw line. First one too long.
He's really improved on the line. He was shooting mostly 70% all year. Dropped a little below that. Last year, he had a great game against Kansas State, Elite 8 game, except on the free throw line. He went 8 for 20, and it really crushed him because that was a heartbreaking loss at the end. By the way, Kansas State's going to win the Big 12. Remember I told you that 2 weeks ago? I'll stay with that. Kansas State is going to win the Big 12 this year. Wade and Brown and company, Weber's defense, I think it's the difference. Kansas, just so many injuries. Amazing what Bill Self's done to patch up that team.
34-30 here, Kentucky with 3 minutes to go. Tennessee will be here Saturday. We're going to get a call on Emmanuel quickly.
Look at this.
Calipari thought it was an offensive foul. He got up clapping.
Look at John. He can't believe it. He's stunned. He's stunned.
That'll send Waters to the free throw line for one-on-one. But watch Cal's reaction if you can see it. He'll get up and clap like we got one.
Well, he thought Waters pushed off, which I think he had a legitimate right to feel that way. I think Waters pushed off to try to get free for the ball.
79% free throw shooter. Tremont Waters knocks that one down.
See, now he should go to the school of UB Brown, how to get free for the ball. 5 basic maneuvers to get free on the wing. Step at the guy, split him, single reverse, you can double reverse, and you got to show the free hand, but you don't push him. You'd be such a teacher. It was such a thrill working with him. The guy forgot more basketball than I ever knew in my life. The guy was just a genius with it. Plus, UB and I together, you ready for this? Was 164 years, 85 and 79.
Amazing.
That's kind of historic.
Amazing. East Coast guys.
That will match our energy, though, with any 25-year-old. Bring him down. You bring him down, Carl. I want to match him.
You tell people, what is the fountain of youth? What is it? This atmosphere? What is it?
It's eating Hershey bars. I love Hershey's. Hershey Almonds, boy. I love them. They sent me a big box of them the other day. I couldn't believe it. I said, where'd you find that out? I said, we know. You love your Hershey at night, so now you got them for the rest of the year.
Too deep. P.J. Washington in the paint gets it to go.
Can't let him get the ball that deep in there. You're right, Carl. You can't let the guy like that get the ball in. You can see, you can feel watching him play. He's got that All-American swag now. He's got that strut and that step. Knowing, I am good. I am bad. I am legit.
He's got 8. Mace. No good. And they have really taken Waters out of the game on the offensive side.
Really have. He's taking himself out a little bit, too. He's not hunting the ball down at all. He's quick with hands, though. He can steal a ball. He's flicking it.
He's always sniffing, as he said to me earlier today. I get so low, hard to dribble by me. Nobody gets lower to the ground than Tremont Waters. PJ one-on-one. Lost it, regained it, missed it. And he's going to get called for the foul. And that'll send him down the other end.
No doubt about it.
P.J. Washington now with 8 points in this game, and he said that one of the main things for him has been that work he did in the offseason to get his body, his conditioning, where it needed to be. He's finally seeing all of that work come to fruition and help him on the court. Also, he's been getting out on the court about 2 hours before game time over the last 4 to 5 home games, taking some shots, just getting a feel for everything. He said that, too, guys, has made a big difference in his ability when the game starts.
Well, when you're physically strong and you feel that, it just adds to it. I'll tell you one thing, he's part of your defensive system. You know, LSU the last 3 games have averaged over 88 points a game.
Yeah.
And right now they got 32 here.
Great pass. He drew the double as the shot blocker, Bigby Williams, came over and he found Reed Travis. And that's going to call a timeout. Good look by the big fella. Results in a dunk and a 6-point lead.
Watch his pass. Unbelievable. He feels the pressure now. Look, double team. He spots the double team. He gets to his buddy inside. And Reed knows what to do with it. Oh, right there. The Stanford transfer. He's already got his degree from Stanford University. You know what that means. That means you got a little bit upstairs more than just basketball, I can tell you that.
A little bit.
Oh, wow. He's got it going for him.
Reed Travis, P.J. Washington, 15 points, 8 rebounds between them. Here's Mays into the paint.
This guy's going to make some plays.
Yeah, that's a tough shot, too, contested. And that's just the length of quickly.
That was a bad shot right there. That was a bad shot. It was challenged big time.
Mays and Waters are 2 of 11 from the field for LSU.
Well, Reed's got to step up a little bit offensively as well. Go to the basket.
Soft touch doesn't go, and the battle for the rebound goes to Kentucky. Naz Reid last game, Dick, as Calipari's going to take a quick timeout. 4 points in the first half, 25 in the second half, so he's capable of getting hot real quick. A 9 Eastern Time Super Tuesday. Your guys, Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, number 2 Duke take on Louisville. The Blue Devils have won the last 2 against the Cards. 4 of 6 over the past 5 seasons. And as everybody knows, you can watch it on the ESPN app from anywhere.
I just saw in the latest draft report, they moved up Morant from down there from Murray State. He's up to number 2.
Yeah.
We got Zion number 1 and him number 2.
Wow.
That Duke so tough on the road.
I heard you on SportsCenter as you take a look at the Duke scoring margin and what Louisville brings with that 4th ranked opponent. Do you think 3 of the Duke freshmen are drafted in the top 5?
Yeah, I really do. I think the 3 of them are going to go top 5, and I can't remember in my 40 years that ever happened. I know Kentucky had the 2 guys in the top 5 when they won 2 with Davis and Gilchrist, but I cannot remember 3 in 5.
Did you have Moran in your top 5?
Well, no, yeah, Moran, but I'm talking about the same team.
No, I know, but was he in your top 5? Now that he's number 2 on the board.
No, yeah, absolutely.
You haven't seen him play. What a highlight reel he is.
Unbelievable. Seth Greenberg did a nice report with him.
Yeah.
And showed his incredible jumping ability, attacked the rim.
Hero in the paint. That one was contested, but a soft touch over Mays. And all of a sudden, an 8-point cushion here.
Well, execution, so efficient. They run that little curl move. They get in that 3-second area, and guys like Hero and Johnson know how to finish it in.
See what they do for their last shot.
Look, Calipari, see animated on the sideline? He doesn't want him to score here.
Mays 3, no good. They'll have a chance if they can get the ball, and they do. Quickly, head up to Johnson.
Uh-oh. That would have brought the house down.
40-32 is our score at the half. Keldon Johnson and company ending on a 9-2 run. Let's go to Laura.
All right, Coach, you decided to take a timeout with under a minute left in this first half. Why was that? What do you want to say to him?
Because I needed to calm down Emmanuel. And I had, you know, he drove and had the guy wide open in the corner, and he tried to throw one at the goal. I said, calm down, man, create shots for us. So I was trying to get us to a post-up or something with Tyler. And, you know, when you got young guys, I'll call timeouts I normally don't call because I know they're confused.
How have you contained Waters so far?
I'll tell you, Emmanuel's doing a good job on him. So he's doing pretty good.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Laura. Don't forget Ashton Hagens, 2 early fouls and did not play many minutes there in the first half as Hagens was relegated to the bench. He played only 4. All right, our score 40-32 at the break. Keldon Johnson, P.J. Washington, the Chief halftime report. Kevin, Seth, and Jay. Games on a big Super Tuesday. It's presented by Boost Mobile. Louisville coming up, but right now, Rupp Arena. And the SEC on ESPN shows Kentucky leading 40-32. If it weren't for the 3-pointers and Marlon Taylor, this might be a blowout. The starters other than Taylor for LSU, Dickie V, are 4 for 21. And boy, it feels like this is going to be an important couple of minutes, huh?
Yeah, the first 4 minutes are going to be vital, certainly LSU. They cannot win this game unless Waters becomes Waters. They got to put a star all year long. He's 1 for 5 in this game. They need him to step it up. And you got to credit Kentucky. Their defense was absolutely superb in the first half, giving up only 32 points. This team has averaged 88 a game the last 3 games, the Tigers of LSU.
See what happens and where they go here early on. And there's a turnover, not the start LSU wanted. Their 5th of the game. Good teams when they get the chance, Dick V, like to step on the proverbial throat, and Kentucky's one of those teams.
Yeah, they really usually do well after halftime. They're patient on offense, too. Making the extra pass, looking for the open man. That's how you win basketball. It's get ball movement, player movement.
There's Waters, man. He put that ball on the ground. He'll come and get it.
Yeah, he really does an outstanding job with steals.
All right, Coach, where do you get the offense from? What's your play here?
Well, you got a number 1. You got to get Reed involved and Waters involved. They've got to get involved. Those 2 guys are too talented.
Tough shot. Skylar Mays will pick up the foul. And let's send it to Laura.
Will Wade's message to this LSU team, guys, at halftime was we have to be more aggressive. He said Kentucky's playing the way that we want to play. They're pinning their ears back and playing like us, the way that we usually play, specifically on the glass. He said as for Waters, it's about being aggressive, but he also has to take advantage of opportunities when they do come his way. Wade said it was frustrating in the first half when he had chances he wasn't able to capitalize.
Tell you one thing, they're taking a lot of bad shots, off-balance shots. Almost like he got fouled there, but a number of their shots have been really off-balance. And again, I come back to the defense, the team defense of Kentucky.
Agreed.
It's no secret. I mean, it's on a regular basis. They're giving up 60 points a game in the SEC.
Skylar Mays, 1 of 2. He's an 80% free throw shooter, and he makes 1 of 2. 87%. They break the press very quickly. This should be an alley-oop. And it is.
Tremendous execution. Number one, they posted up the guy. Got the ball to the post-up man. Then they go diagonal on a 2-on-1 situation, and they get the layup. Just great execution. Well coached.
Waters, tricky dribbles, kicks for a 3. Taylor was the hottest shooter in the first half. No good, and we're going to keep it right here. They're going to get a foul on the floor. I think they're going to get it on P.J. Washington.
Watch this how they post up to the middle of the floor, and this is a clinic right here. Then you go diagonal with the pass, and you get a layup. I mean, they drill on that, they work on that and practice on a regular basis. I get a kick when people tell me, oh, Calipari, he just can recruit. Are you serious? Come on, be real.
Nas Reed takes it inside. It's an unstoppable shot when he gets it down that low.
He's got to get the ball inside more. He's got to want the ball.
Right.
When you're a star player, you got to want the ball. He's a very skilled, multi-skilled. Terrific McDonald's All-American in Roselle, New Jersey. Nice fake.
Went right by him, met by Big D. Williams, but that's P.J. Washington's strength and his body and how it's changed. Yeah, he's got 10.
His physicality made that happen here. I mean, he was so determined. Good first step. Started out in triple threat position, give a little jab step.
Mays jump stop, and he lost it, but they're going to get a foul on the floor. This one looks like it's on Reed Travis. NBA Wednesday double dip Minnesota. How about James Harden? 30 games of 30 or more points in a row. Takes on the Timberwolves, then the Rose City, the Warriors, and Trailblazers. NBA countdown at 7, ESPN and the ESPN app.
Tell you one thing, I just saw a picture of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl Anthony Towns right here in my new book, Mount Rushmore's. He's one of the 4 guys that is a one and done, my best 4 one and done players. As you look here at the lottery draft from the Calipari, my 4 guys are Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Pretty good, right? Carmelo Anthony.
Worked out well.
Not a bad player at all. Karl Anthony Towns. And another Kentucky player, Anthony Davis. I don't think Anthony's going to have to worry about a meal.
No.
He's going to break the bank.
PJ, they're using some ball fakes to get open.
Nice pass.
Hero 3, too long. Boy, Tremont Waters didn't get off the floor for that, and Reed just picked it.
Well, what a great rebound right there by Travis. Good offensive, gives him a second shot, another possession. Always looking to make the open pass.
Higgins. Oh, nearly stuck on the rim, and he gets the 3 to fall. And right away after that, in the face of Waters.
Higgins now, remember, he's got 2 fouls.
Tough pull up, and that one goes. Tremont Waters.
He had 36 against Texas A&M, put a show on. He's capable. He's very poised right there. He knows the guy's got 2 fouls, beats him.
26 against Mississippi State after that 36. How about that extra move by Johnson?
There's that Euro step.
Yep.
I have a little wonder. Do you think it's a walk? I don't know. Those little Euro steps, man. Nice change of direction.
Bigby Williams uses his left. That's a good pass from Tremont Waters.
Well, he did a great job. Tremont's showing his ability with change of direction. Then a little bounce pass. The simplicity, kids out there, not fancy. Little bounce pass. They're hanging around, down 7.
Tough pass, and Waters will come up with it.
One thing Kentucky's done a great job is defensive transition. You don't see many layups at all out of LSU. There's been a lot of clubs they've played where they've been able to run in the break.
Skylar Mays, no good, but there's Nas Reed. Hard to the rack, gets it to go. An offensive rebound and a bucket.
Tell you one thing, he's showing his talent and ability here in the second half. We didn't see it in the first half. Will Wade's got them playing hard right now. Came out of that locker room. And that's what Reed's got to do. He's got to play around the basket a little more.
Mentioned Reed. He had 29 in that game the other day, in which he had 4 in the first half, and 7 of those in overtime against Mississippi State. He outscored him in overtime.
Yeah, like you said, he had 25 in the second half. Unbelievable.
Tough shot there.
See,
good
that's
defense.
a tough shot. Real tough shot. Bad shot.
Run out, hits Johnston on the head.
Uh-oh.
Reed there for the block, and they're going to get a foul on Naz Reed. 48-43, LSU hanging around at Rupp.
A Sonic blockbuster season can.
There's the book, so many millions raised in the fight against cancer. I know the cars have already been sold up, but the book is available.
Yeah, the book is available. Look, Anthony Davis is in the book. We got Carl Anthony Towns. We also have Mr. Calipari as one of the big coaches at March. I'll tell you one thing. You can help me big time, people out there. You Kentucky fans, LSU fans. You buy the book, go to DickVitaleOnline.com, and every dollar I would make goes to kids battling cancer to the V Foundation. Just go to DickVitaleOnline.com and write anything you want me to say. Say that Kentucky's the greatest in the world, I will write it. If it means raising money for kids, I will do it. Missed foul shots.
2 of them. Kelvin Johnson. He's 3 of 7 from the free throw line, and this game is tight. It's only 5.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of it right now if you're LSU. See, I'd give the ball and get Reed inside. Go inside. And spacing, not good spacing right there.
Skylar Mays took it hard. That's going to be off Naz Reed.
Guys, we see Ashton Hagans now checking in for Kentucky. And one of the things that Coach Cal was just saying in that huddle is that Hagans getting in foul trouble early with the 2 early fouls. Now he feels like he's playing a little bit too tentative. He said, I'm going to have to take you out sparingly if you can't contain Waters. Some of the shots that Waters made, he felt like Hagans was playing too timidly. Also offensively, they want to post it. If they double, then find an open man.
Turnover, returned over, quickly fires a 3. And a loose ball to LSU, and they'll push. Mays is open down the other end, and he missed the layup. Then he took what appeared to be an elbow off the face.
Well, he had himself in a poor angle right there to make that layup. That was not an easy layup because he got himself where he caught the ball. Tried to reverse layup. Quickly's played well here, especially defensively.
Back-to-back empty trips for LSU in a 5-point ball game. That's what they do, and here comes Mays again. Hagans with the 2 fouls will let him dunk it.
Now, that was an easy one right there. Mays comes back up. I like this LSU team, man. I know Dale Brown watching must like this club. This reminds me of some of the teams he had. Very athletic, tenacious. They keep fighting and battling.
Now, as Reed, that's going to be a foul on Reed as P.J. Washington goes into the cheerleaders.
Yeah, Washington matched up with Reed. That's a nice matchup right there.
For Reed, 4th foul. And a big development with all that time on the clock for a guy that has been so good in second halves. You see Will Wade's frustration.
Well, he's got to get him out of there, that's for sure.
That's coaching, though, isn't it? You got 3 fouls on him. Calipari says get P.J. the ball and let him drive.
Absolutely. And P.J. Washington knew that. Now he's got to convert now.
How do you project P.J. Washington? You got your book and all these dudes going to the NBA player, P.J.?
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt he's an NBA. He's a first-round draft choice. His stock is moving up. They still got him in the 20s, most of the draft gurus that are doing it. But I think by the end of the year, if he keeps progressing like this, he can get himself into the teens.
1 of 2. Chance for the offensive rebound and a foul on Emmanuel Quickly.
It's going to be interesting to see how they can survive with Reed on the bench.
Yeah. Quickly and Hagans now. That's the 3rd on Quickly. He comes out.
So you don't really get a guy like Reed, a recruit of his caliber, and have him as an assistant coach. You don't need him as an assistant coach. You got to say, Naz, we need you on the floor, man. You got to watch out with those fouls. This is a tough week here for Kentucky. 2 games are in rep. When playing LSU and Tennessee, 2 really quality teams. Tennessee has that mental toughness and that experience and a great combination in Schofield and certainly Williams.
And the rest of them, Bone, Bowden, Alexander. Bad pass. It goes off of Hero. And that's a shot clock violation. Not a good pass from Tremont Waters.
No, really, horrible pass. You're being very kind. He knows better than that. Trying to throw a lob across the defense. Look at the Sketch fans. Look at Naz on the sideline.
See if they go to PJ again now with Darius Days, who's given up a few inches.
I love when PJ catches the ball. He's always in triple threat position. He can drive the ball, he can shoot the ball, or pass it. But in simple elementary, they got a hold on PJ down in the post.
Quick whistle.
Very quick.
Darius Days now with 4. Will Wade kind of getting a little frustrated with these quick calls. Joe Lindsay, Tony Green, and Patrick Evans, the officials.
Try to clean it up. They don't want all that contact.
He will say, look, man, I would have not called that foul.
He did a good job at Chattanooga as well. Worked himself up. Joe Lever finally said, the AD, he's my man. Joe worked for years at Duke.
Waters went over to help. The crowd thought there was a foul as Higgins drives and kicks. Jamal Baker. That time Waters did go up with it, and PJ Washington picks up the foul.
You know, Baker's on the floor basically for one reason. He's a three-point shooter. But they're getting some opportunities there and not able to score. LSU just hanging around.
Yep.
Remember, people watching the game, LSU is 5-0 in conference play on the road. And that's really unheard of when you talk about the elite conferences. To be able to play in an elite conference and win away from home is very unique and very special.
Take a look at their road games. 3 of them they won in overtime. The schedule for LSU, by the way, if you think about LSU, Tennessee, and Kentucky together, LSU has probably the most favorable schedule the rest of the way. Kentucky and Tennessee got to play each other twice still.
Well, they got a game coming up, LSU, later in the year with Tennessee at LSU. Arkansas, by the way, you know, had a great win over LSU at LSU. Arkansas has gotten a lot better, and I'll tell you what, they're a dangerous team.
Skylar Mays got fouled. He regathered the ball and laid it in.
I'll tell you one thing, I like Mays. He's aggressive, he's bright, he's got good IQ. He is an attacker off the bounce. Take a look, he spots the opening, seals the ball off really well, and now he's going to go to the line trying to get that old-fashioned three-point block.
You guys mentioned it, Skylar Mays being a pre-med student, and he had some very difficult exams that he had to take a couple weeks ago. One of them being biology, one of them being anatomy. He said once he got past those, it freed him up to be good on the court, and he said he wanted to get out of his own head, but he just couldn't with as hard and as seriously as he takes his academics. Guys, right now, 4.008 GPA pre-med. He wants to put that 008 in there, Dickie V. He wants to make sure everybody gives him some love for that.
Wow, 4.0, that's incredible.
Big three for Hero with a 1-point advantage. It now grows back to 4.
A big three gives him that little momentum, gets the crowd off their feet.
Waters, tough shot. Offensive rebound, Williams, yes.
It's
Good
Williams.
battle.
He working on the glass. I'm telling you, this is a talented team. I don't think a lot of people are aware of how talented LSU really is. They're getting a view here tonight. No matter what happens in terms of the result of the game, let me tell you, they're at a place where John Calipari's 163-8.
Crazy.
So this is not an easy place to come in and get a win.
Boy, Waters will go over and help as quick as anybody. There's a block by Bigby Williams. And LSU in a jump ball. It'll end up being possession arrow Kentucky. Starting to see LSU, though, on the offensive glass. This is what they do during their shoot-around. Fire the ball and get those hands. Can't even see it until the last second. It's starting to pay some big dividends for the visiting Tigers. Waters misses. And Emmett Williams there to put it back up and in. Good one in the SEC on a Super Tuesday.
In Lexington, where Will Wade's LSU team is within 2, and he knows it. In the huddle just now, telling his guys, this stop right here is the most crucial of the game. You have to get a stop. Telling them they've been doing a much better job getting their defense set, getting back in transition. His main motivation in the first half, what he kept telling them to do. Also reminding them that they have to continue to drive the basketball when they have opportunities. Giving props to Tremont Waters as well for being more involved and attacking more.
Yeah, you can see they're focused on getting the ball. That Skylar Mays, he's 3 of 11 from the floor, 11 points. But they do have that second option when Waters is guarded. Came out of that break with a 30-second full shot clock. And Hero does that as well as anybody, but he comes up short, and that ball's going to go to Kentucky.
Cats keep the basketball.
Will Wade got his stop, Dickie V, but they keep the ball.
You know, I was doing a little research here. LSU's losses. You think about their losses. I mean, tough. Arkansas by 1. Houston had a 15-point lead at halftime. Lost to a very good Houston team. Kelvin Sampson's club by 6. And then they lost in overtime to Florida State by 3. The one bad loss was to Oklahoma State. And that was right after the loss to Florida State.
E.J. Montgomery cleans up the miss.
He's going to get a lot more playing time, man.
No doubt.
That's a big-time future player. He's only a freshman, comes off the bench, and his time is going up and up.
Water's no good, and look at E.J. Montgomery clear it.
E.J. Montgomery's got to really excite John Calipari. You talk about a guy with a terrific upside. Well, she made that little run. Now it's up to 4 again. Look at the patience. When I'm impressed with the patience and poise of Kentucky, trying to get execution to run their offense and get good shots.
Higgins, no good on the 3, and it goes to Mays. Part of the game, Higgins, like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander last year, will work on is that outside shot. How about that, Emmett Williams follow?
That's a big-time rebound by Williams right there. He's a very productive guy off the bench. He's a big-time recruit.
He's got 6. That's their 3rd offensive rebound.
They're hanging right in the game, man, down the deuce.
Mentioned that Arkansas game they lost. They came from 18 behind in that game and nearly won it.
Arkansas's got some really good players, man. Gafford, Joe.
Isaiah Joe can shoot it. Stop here, and a chance for LSU to tie or regain the lead. That's a tough shot from Keldon Johnson. And the LSU defense for the second half has moved up a peg. Waters draws the foul on Higgins. Tell you, it's impossible to stop. You watch Tremont Waters dribble the basketball.
Has great ball handling skills, great speed with the ball.
Higgins joins quickly with 3 fouls, so he goes to the bench, quickly coming in. Have you ever seen anybody do this?
Oh, believe me.
When he was a kid dribbling 3, he said he got it up to 4, and he's going through his legs.
Oh, can handle the rock, baby. He can handle the rock. He's fun to watch. You got to love him down there in Baton Rouge. You know, this is the second biggest game in quite a while when you talk about LSU. The last big game they had where it was really during the regular season, an exciting moment, was back there when they played against Oklahoma. I happened to do that game. It was January 30th, 2016. Brent Musburger and I were there. It was Buddy Hield.
Yep.
It was Ben Simmons, Blakeney. That team probably is the most underachieving team that LSU has had in many a year. They just couldn't get the chemistry to get it to roll. But in that game, it was won 77-75 by the Oklahoma Sooners, and that was an important big-time game. This game is big-time and important right now in the SEC.
Look at that number, Dickie V. 1-35 all-time on the road against top 5 opponents. That's the LSU story. Will they get their second win here at Rupp? Hero trying to get involved with Mays. Good defense. PJ got fouled on the arm. Emmett Williams saying he went straight up.
They know who the star is. They made shooter ball went into Washington.
Tonight after Duke and Louisville Sports Center, Steve Levy, John Anderson, the latest NBA mock draft. Legs will be in town. He'll break down the Philadelphia 76ers new lineup. Celtics Sixers tonight. No Kyrie for Boston. Post-game reaction from LeBron after the Lakers Hawks. That's SportsCenter 11 Eastern, ESPN and the ESPN app, right after Duke and Louisville.
I think Philadelphia Elton Brand's done a great job with them. I think their starting lineup is the best starting lineup in the East. I really do. When you got Redick and you got Simmons and you got Embiid and you got Butler, I mean, that lineup is unbelievable. And you add the kid from Tennessee, Tobias Harris. I mean, that's a terrific lineup.
You think about the Eagles, if the Phillies end up with Harper, think about those 3 Philadelphia sports teams.
Wow. So you got him going to Philadelphia. I can't believe these guys haven't signed Machado with him. This right here. He's going to use that screen up on top. He got bumped. He got pushed. No whistle. Are you serious?
Real tough shot. Good defense. And Will Wade clapping for the call. PJ Washington picks up another one.
I'm going to tell you something.
That's his 4th.
Waters wasn't fouled in that change of direction, Carl. Watch it. Watch it right here. Here we go. There's one right there. They bumped him. I mean, come on.
Emmett Williams went for that offensive rebound, and P.J. Washington fouled him. And folks here are confused at the very least.
These people love basketball. Look at them. They can't believe somebody's playing that close here. But they love basketball.
Both big fellas, Naz Reid and P.J. Washington, each with 4 fouls.
Yeah, I think that happened later. Foul should have been called way earlier.
Agreed.
With Waters.
Waters only 2 of 10 from the floor tonight. And we are tied at 56.
I tell you what, if you tell Will Wade he can be tied here in his game with 8 minutes on the clock and his star player right now struggling, scoring, he'd say, are you kidding me? They almost picked this pivot foot up right here. Out of pressure on the ball. Waters nicely goes over the top, behind the screen.
In and out. And how about the one-handed rebound by Big B Williams?
Tell you one thing, Williams really impressive. Nice run.
Ball fake and a good play by Emmett Williams. That's their first lead since it was 30-29.
Tell you one thing, Williams off the bench has been such a positive, such a positive. I mean, we got Naz Reid sitting on the sideline, and he's been so effective coming off that bench.
Question's going to be for Coach Calipari with P.J. Washington on the bench. Where are the points going to come from? Maybe Tyler Hero gets a little more involved. Emmett Williams was huge the last 2 trips down.
Keldon Johnson certainly can give it to him. Nice transition game right there, Carl. Carl, they're doing a job, Mr. Ravage. You said it would be close.
Very much. That game about a half hour from now. Boy, what a night, Super Tuesday. The Blue Bloods in the Bluegrass State. We'll get to that one when we're done here. This is a great one. Tied at 58-56 LSU with 8 minutes to go. And foul trouble all over the place.
Guys, Coach Cal in the Kentucky huddle emphasizing rebounding, which was a huge emphasis coming into the game. He said in the first half they did what he wanted them to do. Second half, not so much. Also telling P.J. Washington he's got to block out better and not foul. More to come.
2-point ball game, air ball from Reed Travis. We're in Lexington, Kentucky. Big Blue Nation seated right now.
Blue Nation.
Hold up, let me get up in
Tennessee aims to deliver a statement, but number 5 Kentucky looks to defend rough. It's a top 5 showdown. Tennessee, Kentucky, Saturday at 8 on ESPN.
Can't wait for that one, and yet you're focused so much on this one. Boy, the Sonic Blockbuster, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, ESPN, Kentucky, and number 1 Tennessee. Take a look at the point distribution by class. Tennessee upperclassmen, which is what makes them so difficult. 90% of their scoring comes from juniors and seniors, and 0% come from freshmen. They will not be rattled by the atmosphere for sure.
I'll tell you one thing, what a great job Rick Barnes has done since he left and got let go down in Texas. Oh, look at the backdoor cut. Smart, he could not make that shot. They would have blocked it.
They got 10 on the shot clock. And the guy that can dribble 3 and 4 balls at once fires a 3 in and out. And in traffic, Travis with a rebound.
He shot that from down to Louisville, man. He was way out there. Should have liked to have that possession back.
Again, if you're just tuning in, P.J. Washington's on the bench. He's got 4 fouls for Kentucky. Naz Reid also on the bench for LSU with 4 fouls.
Emmett Williams has stepped up big time for Reid. He has really done a great job.
4 of 4
a little
from
tentative
the floor
right now. Kentucky a little tentative, a little on offense.
That's a block by Emmett Williams. Hagans, no good.
Tell you one thing, Williams has been a major factor inside.
Tough catch too. Oh, and Emmett Williams is 5 for 5 and feeling him.
He was unbelievable in the All-American High School Jordan Brand game. I think he had 40-plus points.
44 at Brooklyn in high school.
He's about a Fort Myers. He's been a major force coming off that bench.
How about a 4-point lead for LSU with 6:20 to go here at Rupp.
So I think John's going to start thinking about Washington getting him on the floor.
Hagans nowhere to go. E.J. Montgomery, give him a big assist. He intercepted the pass and then got it to Keldon Johnson.
Yeah, Montgomery made a great play to get it to Johnson. And Johnson's a guy that makes big shots. Listen to the Big Blue Nation. They're up, baby. They're up. And this is what you got to deal with when you're on the road against Kentucky. Not only the players, these fans step up big time.
Javonte Smart one-on-one, tough take on Hero, and he gets it to go off the window.
You know, he started 13 games. Double-figure scorer. He's got great athletic ability, big-time recruit. So you're not surprised there.
He's got 8.
They got big-time players almost every position, Carl. When you can come off the bench with a guy like Williams, that tells you they're talented.
And a very confident team late in the second half. They've been in, as you mentioned, so many close games.
Oh,
Look at
the
Waters'
steal.
hands.
What an unbelievable steal. Oh, a little too far. 2-on-2, bring it out.
Nope, Hero fires. No good. Who's it off of? It's going to be Kentucky ball. Good hustle all over the place.
But right there, Hero, you're down 3, late in the game. You got to get a good shot, good possession. It was 2-on-2.
Yep.
You got to manage that and bring that ball back out.
Javonte Smart earlier in the game hurt his back when he fell awkwardly. He's getting up a little slowly here, but he looks like he's okay. Keep an eye on number 1.
PJ's back on the floor.
So is Naz Reid.
Both guys with 4 fouls. You don't want them to be tentative and passive basketball. You want them to make sure they understand, still play. Be smart, but still play with intensity and passion. Some of the guys get in foul trouble like that, they just stand around.
Williams is on Washington. Reid is on Reid. Good defense. PJ picks it up. Hero 3. Money.
Credit that to PJ. The second effort to come up with that offensive rebound made that happen. Little things like that win basketball games. Wow, SEC, baby. 2 heavyweights going at it.
Washington can't get a foul, and he did a good job of avoiding it. Look at Hagan's tricky dribbling through traffic. That time, Naz Reid avoided the foul.
His size don't bother that angle of that shot. Made him take a tough shot. Here's where you expect Waters to step his game up big time. This is where great players make plays. And great players make reputations.
Waters kicks, Reid 3. Got it!
Wow, what a nice combination. Waters with the penetration, the pass, Reid delivers. He's been rested on a bench. He came out here in the second half, though, before he got in foul trouble and was very effective.
Naz Reid, outstanding. Shooting almost 50% from 3 in conference. 3-point lead for the Tigers.
You got a good one, buddy.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save.
Saturday night at Virginia, he left the floor from about here, accelerated through, blocked the shot about 13 feet in the air, and then landed about 18 to 20 feet from where he initially took off from. Major test for Duke tonight on the road. Number 2 Duke at 16 Louisville. This Yum Center, it will be rocking, Ravi.
Yeah, rocking little heartbeat is what it will be doing. Thank you, Jimmy. LSU, Kentucky right here, and what a game we have. 75 miles away down the road in Louisville at the Yum Center. Number 2 Duke.
Well, you know, Chris Mack's done a great job. Mike Krzyzewski wins that game. He ties Harry Statham at 11-22 wins. He coached at McKendree, and we took Division 1, 2, 3. That's the all-time number. So if Coach K wins that game, then wins at home on Saturday, he becomes all alone in a record that's unbelievable.
LSU bench has been outstanding. 19 points off the bench. We've seen Emmett Williams be a star tonight. PJ hard to the hole and an easy layup.
That's what stars do. That's why he's a star. He wants the ball, crunch time. He wants it, and he knows what to do with it, and he finishes with a strong drive to the goal. Let's see what answers they got here when you look at LSU. The ball's in the hands of their star.
Baseline, reverse.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? All you little guys out there, take a look at him. He never ever believed in Cam. He always believed he could play with anybody. What a reverse layup.
5'11", 175 in amongst the trees.
5'11", maybe like 5'9".
That's what it says. I hear you. I hear you.
What a reverse. Look at that shake. Gets to the baseline. Nobody rotates over. That's the surprise there. They allow him to get the baseline.
And 4 fouls on Washington, so he was a little reluctant to help out.
But other people got to come over.
Yeah.
The ball's the most important thing on the floor.
P.J. Washington up to 15 points in the game. They've been going to him. Now Bigby Williams is on him. 3. Short, followed it. Whose ball? It's going to be LSU basketball.
As we've seen LSU make a comeback in this game, it reminds me of a conversation with Skylar Mays earlier today where he said, we won't be scared of this environment. We don't care how loud it is. This is what we live for. This is what we wanted. He's actually buddies with P.J. Washington. They were roommates at Finley Prep in high school. He said even a little smack talk back and forth with them, but he said P.J. knew LSU wouldn't be scared either.
5 on the shot clock.
I wouldn't be scared if I had that talent as well.
Skylar Mays, no good. Rebound, Reed! Oh, it deflected to Naz Reed, and they have their largest lead of the night by 5.
I'll tell you that Naz Reed is way better than I thought. Really, he can flat out play. That big kid's mobile.
Tough shot, PJ with the left hand.
PJ's stock keeps rising and rising. I love players that are not afraid to take big shots. And he's done it here. Watch Reed now comes up with the great offensive rebound, gets a loose ball, lays it on the glass, gets the conversion. And Mr. Washington says, anything you can do, I can do better. And he uses the left tee and right up on the glass.
Over a guy, a senior in Bigby Williams, who is 6'11". 17 of the game for P.J. Washington. Naz Reed, who was a non-factor in the first half, now with 12.
And he sat most of the second half, too. He's just come in, recently.
Give Javonte Smart an assist on that last basket. He was the one that deflected it to Reed.
Here's when his crowd becomes a factor. This kid's got great handle, man.
He does. 3 good ball handlers. You got Waters, you got Smart.
He dares you to try and take it away.
And Skylar Mays, who can handle it as well on the floor. He was the focal point of the offense in the first half, Mays. Naz Reed with P.J. Washington on him. Long 3. Ooh, it was halfway down.
I don't know about that shot. I know he can shoot the 3, but I don't know with a minute change on the clock. I don't know about it, Mr. Ravage. But if it went in, I would have said great shot.
Great shot. We'll take a quick timeout here. Back to our studio, KC. It's unbelievable. That's history, too, we're talking about. Boost Mobile. We take a look at our flipping the switch. 37-27 when it comes to the points. 54% field goal for LSU. What happened here in the second half?
That ball movement. Waters got involved a little bit.
Emmett Williams on the glass.
Yeah, Williams coming off the bench was certainly very effective.
69-67. Washington, 18. Reed, 9 points in the second half. Washington, 10. So the 2 big fellas that are both in foul trouble with 4, Naz Reed and P.J. Washington, have really been the offensive sparks late here.
Yeah, they're really not shying away from it. They're really aggressive. And we said they got to be a little aggressive. You can't be passive because you got in foul trouble. You got to play your game. Big possession right here by Kentucky, obviously.
Here comes Waters from behind. PJ beats him to the spot. Hits the jump hook.
He just keeps getting better and better. I love this kid, man. He has been a difference maker in the last 7 games.
Now it's Will Wade who calls the timeout. We're tied 69 all as the P.J. Washington show now has 20.
P.J. P.J. Washington's been so effective. He has really played really well. The last 7 games, averaging better than 20 a game. Look at him working on the inside. Good rebound. There's a little lob up on top. Unbelievable. The last 7 points he has scored. You're talking about a guy with 12 foul trouble. It's a great pass by P.J. Here he is taking the ball strong with the left hand. Unbelievable. Just tough to skip it. He wanted his one-on-one right here. Little turnaround, little like jump hook in the lane. Look at the eyes. Look at the intensity. Look at the intensity. He said, I know I'm good. I know I'm good. He said, come on. Can't wait. He said, right now, they want to close this baby out and then say, come on down, Tennessee.
Bring him on. The sophomore to Dallas, Texas for the 8th time this year has gone for 20. 6th time in his last 7.
I know Tennessee, man. You look at P.J. Washington. Look at the numbers here. Unbelievable. One after another. 20, 20 plus. I know one thing. Tennessee says we will be there, and they will battle and battle and battle. Those kids are as tough as can be. Oh, we got a good finish. Here we go. They want the ball in Waters' hands here. He wants to get down that lane.
That's off. Hero picks it up. 44 seconds to go.
Well, one thing, LSU's going to get the ball back for a shot. If Kentucky scores, they'll have one last chance. Look, they want him again. Reed's got to play it a little tough.
Keldon Johnson in and out.
What a
Travis,
rebound.
the rebound, but it's stolen by Reed.
What a terrific rebound. He got it back. Oh, he
And
got
a foul. What job by Tremont Waters to draw the foul.
He really did with that hesitation.
Sure did.
Smart, very smart basketball player. But another end. Was that baby in? Was that baby in? Watch this. Are you kidding me? Are you serious, Carl Ravage? Look at that offensive rebound. And here's the foul. The little hesitation causes the contact.
We've talked about Tremont Waters' ability to dribble in traffic. He spun Tyler Hero around and drew that foul. And now Waters will go to the free throw line. He's a 79% free throw shooter this season.
Well, Kentucky gets the ball back.
20 6 of 6 tonight.
He plays with such poise. What I like about him, he doesn't seem to get rattled at all. He's very poised, very patient, even when he was not active. I thought he was a little passive there in the first half. It's great to see little guys excel. So many people doubt their ability to do it.
I know there was some concern in the LSU camp after they lost that game to Arkansas that they could go on a 4-game losing streak. They are now in position to win 3 tough ones in a row.
But have won 12 in the last 13, other than lost to Arkansas. Let's see what Kentucky does right here.
Oh, Hero 3, no good. P.J. Washington
what a rebound.
They get a foul, and Reed Travis is going to go to the free throw line. He's been great rebounding.
He has really been terrific. You talk about a second effort. He is right up there. Watch this. That was a tough shot right here. But Travis is going to give right. He's a defensive player's got him blocked out. He's between him and the basket, and yet he comes up with the rebound. He goes laterally to get that rebound. Terrific. Eight seconds to go. If he makes these both, LSU gets a shot. No free throws right here?
Nope.
They're not. Oh, they weren't in them.
Wasn't shooting. On the floor, they said. And no bonus for Kentucky.
So now you got to be careful. You go for the 2 in overtime.
How about the Hero shot for 3? They're going to talk it over, but how about that Hero shot?
That was not a good shot. I don't think it was a good shot.
Seemed like it was a set play,
He was challenged. He was being challenged.
I know you.
I thought he was going to go to the free throw line, but I was wrong there. I didn't think so. But right now, you know, if you can get the opportunity to win it in terms of with the 3 and it's within your offense, you shoot it. But if you got a deuce, you're going to score the deuce. I mean, you got to think about
25
that.
has to see the ball, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's going to want the ball. Now they are going to try to keep the ball away from him. So really, what a game. I tell you, really terrific being here, Carl. SEC basketball is a lot of quality teams, and we're seeing 2 talented talented teams here tonight.
No doubt about it. Ashton Hagen's been in foul trouble early. Waters wasn't a big factor, but these guys that are the stars on the team, Waters, Naz Reid, on the other side, P.J. Washington, all show up here late.
Well, Reid goes out of the game foul trouble. Washington goes out of the game foul trouble. What happens? Emmett Williams steps up big time. Well, you're looking right now. This team has won 12 out of 13. Kentucky's won 10 in a row, so something's going to have to give. LSU has not lost a game on the road in conference play. And
Kentucky hasn't lost a game at home all year. They are 13-0.
Yeah, 13-0 here in Rupp. They don't lose too often. We talk about it regularly. 163-8. John Calipari in his era.
Naz Reid back on P.J. Washington.
And he can't certainly worry about having 4 fouls. He's got to really challenge him. Because they want to look to get the ball to him, that's for sure. He's going to post up inside. He's going to try to drop it in.
Keldon Johnson, they'll call the foul on Taylor out top. And now we're one-on-one, so Keldon Johnson will go to the free throw line to shoot. He is 3 of 7 from the free throw line tonight.
He has really struggled on the line. Right now, you got to think different situations if you're LSU. If he makes both, you got the ball with 6 seconds. You can do a lot with 6 seconds. Got to block out, make sure if he misses to come up with that rebound too. It's 3 out of 7. Looked very comfortable right there. He didn't look like the guy was 3 for 7, did he? He's a good-looking freshman. He really is. And Will Wade going through all the numbers. Let's see what happens here. You know they're going to want to get the ball if he scores here in the hands of Waters.
No doubt.
Because he's so quick with it.
They do have a timeout left. Tie game.
Nice, man. He was nice. He stepped right on there. Unbelievable. He's not going to use the timeout.
They got the best handler in the game in Tremont Waters.
They're going to try to keep the ball away from him.
And they give it to Skylar Mays. All the way to the rack. Tipped in. Is it good?
He tipped it in.
They call it good. They will look at it, but they call it good.
They got to look at it. They got to look at this. They got to look at it. It was close, Carl. It was very close.
Was it close because of the time on the clock, or was it close because it was an offensive goaltender?
I think offensively interfering with the ball, possibly. I'm not sure. We're going to see the replay, but it was close.
The crowd just saw the instant replay here. You hear their reaction that this one shouldn't count.
You take the clock, Carl. Come on, take that clock. Let us know. Here we go. Did he get it off? Does he get it off?
I got news for you, Dickie V. I have that as a good basket.
I do too.
This ball seems to be off the rim.
Look at the clock. I think it beats the clock. I think he beats the clock here, does he not?
He definitely beats the clock.
Yep.
I think it's off the rim.
They're looking for interference there. Remember, international basketball, you can touch the ball, but you can't do it here.
That's Big B. Williams, and they just told Coach Cal it's an LSU win here at Rupp 73-71. And this place is shocked.
They are shocked and stunned, but credit the kids of LSU. Talented, came in, battled, and got that W. I think you're right, Carl. I don't think that you can wave that off.
Vel Bigby Williams doing what LSU does as well as anybody, offensive rebound. And this one is off the rim when he knocks it back in.
Absolutely. Now Kentucky's got to regroup and get ready for Tennessee.
How about LSU? They have a real chance now with only 1 loss in conference and ahead of Kentucky to perhaps, with an easier schedule, go on and maybe grab an SEC title. Laura is with Will Wade.
Will Wade hugging the stars of his LSU team. Tremont Waters there. Coach, your thoughts on the final shot to win the game. What did you see?
Well, we just got it on the backboard. When you get it on your backboard, you give yourself a chance. And that's a great take by Sky, and was just able to get it on the backboard. Just a tremendous, tremendous win for us. I was so proud of our guys. We didn't get down double digits, but we got down 8. We were able to hang, and we did what we did. we imposed our will a little bit in the second half, able to get on the glass, get some stops, do a great job on the offensive glass.
You wanted aggressiveness from this team coming out of halftime. Why did they believe that they could always get back in this game and win it?
Well, I just think that's the type team we've got. We're a tough, we're aggressive team. Thought we played a little bit too much on our heels in the first half. We just had to get back to being ourselves, which we did.
When you end up in this type of environment, it was so loud. You said you hadn't coached an environment that would be quite this loud yet, and get a win. How does it propel your team forward and you yourself as a coach?
Well, we're a good team. I mean, everybody was doubting us coming into this. I told our guys, we're playing this year's Kentucky team. We're not playing John Wall, Carl Anthony. I mean, you can't come in here and be intimidated. We're playing this year's Kentucky team, and I like this year's LSU team versus the Kentucky team. And I didn't know if we'd win or not, but I knew we were going to be game and play really hard, which we did.
What do we need to know about this team that we don't yet?
Well, we'll see. The final chapter's yet to be written, but we're getting there.
Thanks so much, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a job he did, too. Waters was not a factor as much as he'd like to be, and he kept getting it to Skylar Mays, including on that last play.
Yep, really terrific job by Wade. He had his kids ready to play. He told me we can look eye to eye to them and nose to nose with them, and we can play. Here's the last play right here. Now look at that. That ball's not in a cylinder. It's off the rim, and there's the tip in. And I don't think there's any doubt it beat the clock as well. There's the drive. He flips it up on the glass, and this is one of their strengths, offensive boards, and they leave here with a W and now in good shape. They got Tennessee at home. That's a home game they have on February 23rd, and that'll be a big, big game. But now the stage is set. Tennessee, Kentucky will be facing the number one team in the nation, and it'll be interesting to see how they respond after this loss.
That angle there may be the most definitive on what is a very close play. But again, a couple of things happen. LSU gets their first road win against a top 5 team since 1980. And you mentioned, what was it, 163-8?
163-8.
Calipari in this building. He just lost.
Unbelievable. That was close, man. That was a close call right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I told you we'd celebrate basketball, and Coach Vitale, who of course now gets a Lifetime Achievement Award. What a game. Adding to the resume. Super Tuesday off to a terrific start. How about game 2 for Laura and Dick Vitale? Carl Ravitch.